August 8th, 1993. Past midnight. Kelly and Andrew Cahill are driving home through the Dandenong Mountains of southern Australia. It's winter, but the night isn't particularly cold. Just a cool breeze and some light rain earlier in the evening. They've spent hours at a friend's barbecue, and now they're tired, ready for bed, taking the familiar route along Belgrave-Hallam Road. The road winds through rolling countryside, dark and empty at this hour. Trees line both sides, their silhouettes creating shadows that dance in the headlights. It's the kind of drive they've done countless times. Peaceful, uneventful, or at least it should have been. Kelly spots something in the distance. At first, it looks like a blimp rising from the landscape, but they're in the middle of nowhere. What would a blimp be doing out here? Andrew slows down. They both keep their eyes locked on the object as it draws closer. It's not a blimp. The thing is disc-shaped, hovering at double the height of the treetops, and it's moving fast, straight toward them. A dazzling orange glow radiates from its surface, bathing the surrounding trees in pulsating light. The sight is mesmerizing, hypnotic, unlike anything either of them has ever witnessed. Kelly leans forward, squinting. There are windows around the outer rim of the disc, and behind those windows, she can see them. Tall, dark figures, standing perfectly still, silhouetted against some internal light source. Her heart starts pounding. She points at the craft, her voice cutting through the silence. There are people inside that thing. Before Andrew can respond, before either of them can fully process what they're seeing, the object vanishes, just gone. 1 second it's there, solid and impossible. The next second, nothing but empty sky and the waning moon hanging overhead. They sit in stunned silence. The car keeps rolling forward. What did they just see? Military aircraft? But no military craft has windows with figures standing in them. Kelly's pulse races. Adrenaline floods her system. She glances at Andrew. His knuckles are wide on the steering wheel, but he keeps driving. His face shows the same confusion she feels. They continue on. Another mile passes. Neither knows what to say. The headlights cut through the darkness. Trees rush past. Branches reach out like grasping fingers. Then they see it again. Another light. But this one is different. Ahead of them, blocking the road, is a wall of pure white light. Not orange like the craft. Brilliant white. Blinding. Like a curtain stretched across the entire landscape. As they get closer, the light intensifies. Kelly raises her hand to shield her eyes. This light doesn't come from a single source. It's everywhere at once. A barrier of pure luminescence that obliterates everything beyond it. Andrew doesn't slow down. Maybe he's too shocked. Maybe he thinks they can drive through. Maybe something is pulling them forward. They enter the light. Kelly's world goes white. She can't see Andrew, can't see the dashboard, can't see anything. The brightness is absolute, consuming. She feels like she's falling while standing still. Then, nothing. Kelly snaps back to awareness. She's in the car again, but something is deeply wrong. It feels like waking from a dream, that disorienting moment when you have to remember where you are. She focuses on the trees rushing past the window. They're much further along the road than they should be. How did they get here? She turns to Andrew. His face is pale, his jaw clenched. When he looks at her, his expression mirrors her own confusion. Something just happened. Something neither of them can remember. She asks if she fell asleep. Her voice sounds small, uncertain, but she knows that's not what happened. She wasn't tired before. She's not rested now. Andrew can't answer. He just grips the steering wheel tighter and shakes his head. He doesn't know either. but they both feel it. The same inner turmoil. The same sense that something significant occurred. Something their minds can't grasp. There's a strange odor in the car. Metallic. Burnt. Chemical. Kelly can't identify it, but it turns her stomach. Then she notices something else. A burning sensation on her midriff. Not painful exactly. Just there. She touches her stomach through her shirt, but the feeling is vague. What really bothers her are the red lights. She has this fragmentary memory of red lights. Not the orange glow from the craft. These were different. Multiple red lights, all moving toward her in darkness. She can't form a complete picture. Just this image at the edge of her consciousness. Many red lights. Gliding. Coming closer. The car hits a pothole. The jolt snaps her back to the present. She's here. In the car. With Andrew. On the dark road. Heading home. They drive the rest of the way in complete silence. Not the comfortable quiet of a long marriage. This is something heavier. Oppressive. Both are exhausted. Both want nothing more than to get home. To sleep. To forget whatever just happened. Neither mentions the craft. Neither speaks about the wall of light. Talking about it would make it real. Would force them to confront something their minds aren't ready to process. So they drive through the night. Two people sharing an impossible experience, each locked in confused thoughts, each trying to make sense of missing time and fragmentary memories. When they finally pull into their driveway, Kelly notices something. She checks her watch, then checks it again. They're home an hour and a half later than they should be. The drive from their friend's house usually takes 45 minutes. Tonight it took over 2 hours, 90 minutes. Gone. Vanished like the craft that disappeared into the night sky. Inside the house, Kelly goes to the bathroom. She lifts her shirt and looks down at her stomach. Just below her navel, there's a mark. A red equilateral triangle. Each side about 10 millimeters long. Several layers of skin within the triangle appear to have been burned away. The mark is precise, geometric, deliberate. She stares at it in the mirror. Her hands start shaking. Andrew comes to the doorway and sees it too. Neither of them speaks. What is there to say? They have no memory of how it got there. No explanation for the missing time. No rational answer for anything that happened tonight. Exhausted and overwhelmed, they go to bed. Maybe in the morning it will make sense. Maybe they'll wake up and find a logical explanation. Maybe the mark will be gone and this whole night will seem like a bad dream. But deep down, Kelly knows the truth. This is just the beginning. Whatever happened on that dark road through the Dandenong Mountains, whatever occurred during those 90 missing minutes, it's not over. The mark on her skin is proof. The fragmentary memories are proof. The fear crawling up her spine is proof. Something found them tonight. Something took those 90 minutes. And soon, very soon, Kelly Cahill is going to remember exactly what that something was. When those memories come flooding back, they'll bring with them a horror so profound, so utterly inexplicable, that it will change her life forever. But tonight, she sleeps. Tonight, her mind protects her with blessed forgetfulness. The full truth can wait until morning. The nightmare can wait just a little bit longer. Kelly wakes up the next morning feeling like she's been hit by a truck. Every muscle aches. Her head pounds. She lies in bed staring at the ceiling, and her hand instinctively goes to her stomach. The triangular mark is still there. In the daylight, it looks even worse. Perfect geometric edges. Burned skin. Real. Andrew sits at the kitchen table, coffee untouched, dark circles under his eyes. They exchange glances but say nothing. What is there to say? They both know something happened. Neither wants to admit it. Kelly tries to maintain normal life. Shower, breakfast, work. But nothing feels normal. That metallic smell lingers in her memory. Fragments of red lights flash through her mind at random moments. And the burning sensation on her stomach won't fade. 3 days later, everything falls apart. Her menstrual cycle starts. She's not due for 2 weeks. But this isn't just early. The bleeding is heavier than anything she's experienced. Intense cramping doubles her over. Days pass. The bleeding continues. Then weeks. Something is catastrophically wrong inside her body. The nausea hits without warning. Standing in the kitchen, the room suddenly spins. She grips the counter to keep from falling. These episodes come multiple times a day. Unpredictable, debilitating. Then the migraines start. Day 4. Blinding pain like a spike driven through her skull. Light becomes unbearable. Sound becomes torture. She spends hours in darkened rooms waiting for the agony to subside. The migraines come every single day for 6 weeks straight. Finally, she breaks, makes an appointment, sits in a cold examination room under humming fluorescent lights and explains her symptoms. She shows the doctor the triangle mark. He asks how she got it. She says she doesn't know. He doesn't push. The tests reveal an infection in her womb. Significant, aggressive. But the lab results don't match any known bacterial or viral infection. It's there, making her sick, but its origin is a complete mystery. More tests, sonograms. Kelly watches the technician's face for clues as the ultrasound wand moves across her abdomen. The images show the infection, but no explanation. No foreign objects, no trauma. Just this inexplicable invasion of her body. They hospitalize her. 3 days of IV antibiotics. Nurses monitoring her vitals every few hours. Slowly, the infection responds. The bleeding lessens. The cramping subsides. After a week, the infection finally clears. But the migraines persist. CAT scans now, looking for tumors, lesions, aneurysms, any physical trauma to her brain. The machine whirs around her head, taking detailed images. The results come back clean. No abnormalities. No medical explanation for the daily torture. The doctor prescribes painkillers and tells her it's probably stress. Sometimes the body expresses trauma in ways medical science doesn't understand. Rest. Take the pills. The migraines should fade. Kelly knows better. This isn't stress. Something was done to her during those 90 missing minutes. The infection, the mark, the migraines, all connected to that night, to whatever happened after they drove through the wall of light. Then the memories start coming back. It begins with dreams, vivid, terrifying. She jolts awake at 3 a.m, heart hammering, sheets soaked with sweat. In the dreams, she's standing in a field. A massive craft hovers above. Tall figures with glowing red eyes glide toward her through darkness. She tries to run but can't move. Tries to scream but no sound comes. The figures drift closer, their movement unnatural, floating rather than walking. Those red eyes burn into her, through her. At first, she dismisses them as nightmares, stress, and medication. But the dreams become more detailed, more specific. And they don't feel like dreams. They feel like memories. She starts keeping a notebook, writing down every fragment as it surfaces. The memories arrive without warning. Making dinner, she suddenly remembers the orange glow of the craft. Driving to the store, she remembers grass under her feet as she walked into a field. Why was she in a field? Why did they stop the car? The fragments begin connecting. After driving through the light, they didn't end up further down the road. They pulled over, stopped next to a large open field. Something compelled them to stop. Something they couldn't resist. She remembers getting out of the car, cold night air, Andrew beside her, both staring at something massive hovering in the darkness. The craft, the same disc they'd seen earlier, but now it was right there, close, enormous, the size of a 3-story building as wide as an Olympic swimming pool. More details surface. Other cars. They weren't alone. 2 other vehicles had pulled off the road. People getting out. Strangers. All drawn to the field. All staring at the impossible object hovering above the grass. Kelly writes faster. The memories pour out now. The craft's surface shimmered like heat waves. Its orange glow pulsed with a rhythm she couldn't hear, but felt deep in her bones. A low-frequency vibration that made her teeth ache. Then figures appeared beneath the craft. Tall, impossibly tall, 7 feet or more. Not black like skin, black like shadow, like darkness given physical form. They stood in a group, perfectly still, and even from a distance she felt their attention lock onto her. One stepped forward. Behind it, more figures emerged, many more. Kelly's initial excitement curdled into raw terror. A sensation hit her stomach like low-frequency waves, dense and profound, becoming physical weight pressing down on her chest. This wasn't just fear. It was wrongness. These figures radiated fundamental wrongness. They shouldn't exist. Every instinct screamed at her to run. Get back in the car. Drive away. Now. But she couldn't move. Frozen. Spellbound. Locked in some hypnotic trance she fought desperately to break. Her mind screamed commands her body refused to obey. Move. Run. Anything. But she stood paralyzed as the figures began to glide across the field. They didn't walk. They floated. Glided. And as they approached, their eyes became visible. Bright red. Disproportionately large. Glowing with intensity that hurt to look at directly. The figures split into groups. Some headed toward Kelly and Andrew. Others toward the people from the other cars. Coordinating. Hunting. Dividing their prey. Kelly's terror reached a breaking point. She went mad with absolute fear. Still unable to move, unable to flee, she could only stand there as demons glided toward her across the dark grass. Then pain. Sudden. Shocking. An electric blow to her solar plexus knocked the wind from her lungs. The impact sent her flying backward. She hit the ground hard. Grass and dirt against her back. Gasping. Suffocating. Convinced she was dying, she tried to sit up. Failed. Tried again. The world spun. Darkness crept in at the edges of her vision. She was losing consciousness, dying in a field while shadow creatures with burning red eyes stood over her. Darkness swallowed her completely. But that wasn't the end. When Kelly pushes deeper into the memory, fighting past the terror and the pain, she remembers more. She remembers waking up, or regaining consciousness, or whatever you call coming back to awareness when you're not sure you ever really left. She couldn't see. Total blackness. But she could hear. Andrew's voice somewhere nearby shouting, demanding something. She tried to call out to him, but her throat wouldn't work. Then a hand on her shoulder. Someone speaking. The voice was strange, too deep, wrong somehow. But the words were English, plain English, telling her something. What was it saying? She sat up screaming for Andrew. Her voice finally worked. The scream tore from her throat, raw and desperate. Andrew shouted back. Closer now. She could hear the fury in his voice, the fear. Let us go, you bastards. A response. That wrong voice again. 2 words that made no sense given everything that was happening. No harm. Andrew's rage exploded. If you didn't mean us any harm, then why did you hit my wife? Kelly vomited. The nausea overwhelmed her. She felt hands examining her, touching her stomach. She tried to fight, but her body wouldn't respond, couldn't resist. Then nothing. A gap. When the memory picks up again, she's back in the car. Andrew is driving. They're on Belgrave Hallam Road, sitting in silence, the strange smell in the air, the burning sensation on her stomach, the vague memory of red lights. 90 minutes gone. Kelly stops writing, puts down the notebook. Her hands are shaking. The memories are complete now, or as complete as they're going to get. She knows what happened during that missing time, knows what those figures did. But knowing doesn't bring relief. It brings more questions, more terror. Because if this really happened, if shadow creatures with red eyes really pulled her from a field and examined her and marked her skin with a geometric burn, then everything she thought she knew about reality is wrong. Andrew still won't talk about it. She shows him the notebook. He goes pale, walks away, refuses to discuss it. Whatever he remembers, he's buried it deep. Maybe he'll never be ready to face it. But Kelly can't bury it. The memories are too vivid, the physical evidence too real. The triangle mark on her stomach, the infection that had no source, the migraines that had no cause. Something happened to her in that field. Something was done to her body. And whoever or whatever those figures were, they left their mark. A permanent reminder burned into her skin. She's not crazy. She's not imagining this. It happened. And she's about to discover she's not the only one who knows it. Kelly stares at the phone in her hand for 20 minutes before making the call. UFO researchers. She found their number in a local paper. This is insane. They'll think she's crazy. But the memories won't stop. The triangle mark won't fade. She needs answers. She dials. A man answers. Kelly's voice shakes as she begins. The craft on Belgrave Hallam Road. August 8th. The missing time. The figures with red eyes. The mark on her stomach. She's prepared for skepticism, for polite dismissal. Instead, the researcher goes quiet. Then he asks a question that stops her heart. Were there other cars? Kelly freezes. How did you know that? Because they've already called. The room spins. Other witnesses, people she's never met, strangers who saw the same impossible thing, who lost the same 90 minutes, who carry the same inexplicable trauma. 3 people from one car, the researcher continues, a man from another, all reporting the same night, same location, same experience. Kelly can't speak. She's not alone. She's not crazy. This is real. The researcher wants to meet, wants separate interviews with everyone, wants to investigate the field. Kelly agrees immediately. She needs this. Needs proof that her memories are more than trauma-induced hallucination. What follows becomes the most thorough UFO investigation in Australian history. The researchers interview each witness separately. Kelly sits in a room and tells her story while they record every word. They ask about timeline, physical sensations, specific details. She describes everything she can remember. Then they ask her to draw what she saw. Kelly sketches the disc-shaped craft, windows around the rim, tall figures beneath it, backlit by white light. She draws their height, their stance, those burning red eyes. They thank her and move to the next witness. 6 separate interviews. 6 people who've never met. Nobody knows what the others are saying. Nobody sees the other drawings. When the researchers compile the results, Kelly sees the drawings laid out on a table. Her hands start shaking. 6 different people. 6 nearly identical sketches. Same craft, same figures, same proportions, same details. The similarity is undeniable, impossible, real. But it gets stranger. The researchers ask about physical effects. Kelly shows them her triangular mark. They photograph it. measure it. Then they tell her something that makes her blood run cold. 3 other witnesses have identical marks, same location below the navel, same shape, same size. Red equilateral triangles, 10 millimeters per side, burned into skin. The 2 women from the nearest car, Glenda and Jane, and Dave, the man traveling alone. 4 people marked, 4 strangers who've never met. But Andrew has no mark. Neither does Bill, who was driving the first car. Only 4 of the 6 witnesses bear this geometric brand. Why? What determines who gets marked? Nobody knows. The medical details align too. Glenda and Jane both suffered severe gynecological problems after that night. Heavy bleeding, unexplained infections, the same mysterious symptoms Kelly endured, the same violation of their bodies. Glenda remembers something else, waking up in a strange room, strapped to a table, a tall figure in a dark cloak examining her. The memory is fragmented, but the terror is absolute. Kelly's breath catches. The cloaked figure, the one that visited her bedside 4 times after that night. She thought those visits were uniquely hers. But Glenda experienced it too. The same entity, the same paralyzed horror. They're not alone in this, any of them. The researchers don't stop at interviews. They go to the field. For 18 months, they investigate that stretch of Belgrave-Hallam Road with scientific precision. They divide acres of land into meter-square grids using pegs and tape. Every section examined, photographed, tested. They take hundreds of soil samples across the entire area, analyzing for chemical anomalies, radiation, anything unusual. They conduct aerial surveys with infrared photography, flying over at different times, different conditions, mapping heat signatures invisible from ground level. They use magnetometers to measure magnetic fields across the grid, walking slowly, logging readings, looking for distortions that shouldn't exist. 5 months in, they find it. A large triangular shape in the field, 20 meters across. The soil appears normal visually, but testing reveals something impossible. Pyranee, a carcinogen found in coal tar and coal mines. The triangular area is saturated with it. There are no coal mines near this field, no industrial sites, no reason for this chemical to be present. Triangle in the field, triangles on their skin. The connection is obvious but unexplainable. The magnetic readings within the triangle fluctuate wildly, spikes and drops that don't match any natural features. Something massive disrupted the magnetic field here. The story makes news. Local papers, television crews. Kelly Cahill's private nightmare becomes Australia's most documented UFO encounter. Multiple witnesses, physical evidence, scientific investigation. Everything skeptics say these cases lack. For Kelly, the publicity brings unexpected relief, validation. She's not insane. The evidence supports her. The witnesses support her. People believe her because the truth is undeniable, but the accounts aren't perfectly identical. Small differences exist. Bill, Glenda, Jane, and Dave all heard a humming sound from the craft. Deep, resonant. Kelly and Andrew remember eerie silence. Those 4 blacked out immediately after approaching the field. One moment walking toward it, next moment back in their cars with missing time. Kelly and Andrew remained conscious longer, remembered more. The approach, the figures splitting up, the terror, the electric blow. Why the difference? Maybe proximity. Maybe the entities treated them differently. Nobody knows. One more discrepancy, the eyes. Kelly saw them glowing bright red. The others describe dark, featureless figures but don't mention red eyes. Kelly thinks hard about this, then remembers. The eyes only turned red when the figures started moving. Before that, just dark shapes. The others must have blacked out before that moment. before the eyes activated, or maybe everyone experienced something slightly different. Customized encounters, tailored trauma. The researchers also find independent corroboration. Residents across the area reported a strange orange light in the sky on August 8, 1993. Multiple calls to police and media. Same night, same location, same description. People with no connection to the witnesses, no reason to lie, just reporting what they saw. More evidence, more proof this actually happened. Kelly sits with the compiled report, hundreds of pages, witness testimonies, medical records, soil analysis, magnetic readings, photographs of identical marks on different bodies, drawings that match with eerie precision, 6 strangers, one impossible truth, and evidence that can't be dismissed. She's not crazy. She never was. But validation doesn't bring peace. It brings new fear. If this happened once, it can happen again. To anyone. And next time there might not be witnesses, might not be evidence, might not be anyone to believe you. The other witnesses become real to Kelly now. She knows their names. Bill and Glenda, married, traveling with their friend Jane. Dave, the government employee who was alone that night. Andrew, her husband, who still can't talk about it. 6 people whose lives changed forever in that field. 6 people marked by an experience that shouldn't be possible. 4 of them branded with geometric burns that have no medical explanation. The researchers give them answers about what happened. Proof it was real. Documentation that it occurred. What they can't provide is why. Why them? Why that night? Why those marks? What did the figures want? The investigation made Kelly Cahill's case famous, made UFO research credible in Australia, gave investigators a case to point to when demanding serious attention. But for Kelly, it's not about credibility or fame. It's about survival, learning to live with memories of shadow people and red eyes, learning to sleep despite fear of the cloaked figure returning, learning to exist, knowing that impossible things are real. She touches the triangle on her stomach, permanent scar tissue, permanent reminder. Some encounters don't just haunt your memory, they mark your body, leave evidence in your skin and in the earth itself. 6 witnesses walked into that field. 6 witnesses lost 90 minutes. 4 witnesses bear identical scars. And somewhere in the Dandenong Mountains, a 20-meter triangle of contaminated soil remains. Physical proof burned into the ground like a brand. The truth left its mark on the land, on their bodies, on their lives. And the shadow people with burning red eyes, they're still out there, still gliding through darkness, still marking chosen victims with geometric precision. Kelly knows this now, knows it with absolute certainty, because 4 strangers bear the same triangle she does. 4 people who never met but share identical scars from identical entities on an identical night. That's not coincidence. That's not mass hallucination. That's not stress or false memory. That's real. Documented, proven, and it's absolutely terrifying. Kelly can't stop asking herself the same question. What were those things? She lies awake at night, fingers tracing the triangle on her stomach, replaying every detail. The shadow forms, the gliding movement, those burning red eyes, the electric shock that dropped her, the violation during those missing minutes. Aliens or demons? The researchers lean toward extraterrestrial, advanced civilization, spacecraft, medical examination. It fits the abduction narrative, missing time, physical procedures, geometric precision in the marks left behind. But Kelly grew up Christian, deep religious upbringing, heaven and hell, angels and demons, good versus evil. When those figures first glided toward her across that dark field, her instinct didn't scream alien. It screamed demon. Pure shadow. Not gray skin or biological suits. Animated darkness. Forms that seemed carved from the absence of light itself. Moving in ways that defied physics. Gliding rather than walking. Existing rather than living. And those eyes, bright red, massive, glowing with malevolent intelligence. Every culture, every religion, every ancient text associates red eyes with one thing: evil. Kelly starts researching shadow people, discovers she's far from alone. Reports flood in from across the world. Tall, dark figures appearing in bedrooms, standing in doorways, watching from corners. Always the same description: featureless, dark, sometimes with glowing red eyes. Many cultures view them as demonic, malevolent spirits, entities existing between worlds. Not physical beings, but spiritual manifestations. Harbingers of death, collectors of souls. The triangle bothers her too. She studies its symbolism. In Christianity, the equilateral triangle represents the Holy Trinity: Father, Son, Holy Spirit, sacred geometry, divine perfection. But corrupted, inverted, the triangle becomes mockery, a cult symbol, desecration of the sacred. She remembers hearing about cattle mutilations, strange markings carved into carcasses, triangles burned into flesh. Some researchers claimed it was intentional mockery, demonic entities defiling creation with corrupted religious symbols. Was that her purpose? Branded with a twisted holy symbol? 4 people marked, 4 souls claimed. The electrical phenomena support the demonic theory. It started immediately after that night. Appliances activating themselves, lights flickering constantly, television changing channels with nobody near the remote. Kelly gets shocked by everything, but not normal static. She touches garden soil and electricity arcs, touches wood furniture and sparks fly, touches stones and feels currents surge through her fingers. Her body's electromagnetic field is wrong, corrupted, or something attached to her generates disturbance. Paranormal investigators cite electrical anomalies as demonic presence, entities drawing power from electrical systems, feeding on energy. Then the car incident happens. Kelly walks out one morning. Her car is locked. Kill switch activated. Impossible to start without physically disabling the switch. As she approaches, the engine roars to life on its own. She freezes, stares. This isn't malfunction. This is impossible. Something intelligent started that car. Something sending a message. Nowhere is safe. Not even locked metal and safety systems. The visitations intensify. 4 more times the cloaked figure appears at her bedside. Always the same pattern. Starts as a dream. Kelly feels presence but can't see it. Oppressive weight making breathing difficult. It speaks. Tells her not to panic. The voice is wrong. Too deep. Resonating unnaturally. English words but alien tone. Then she wakes. Truly wakes. And it's there. Standing beside her bed. Tall, cloaked, hood obscuring any face, but she feels its attention locked on her, studying, evaluating. She tries to scream, can't. Tries to move, can't. Paralyzed like in the field, helpless while this thing looms over her in the darkness of her own bedroom. Then it vanishes. No movement, no fade, simply ceases existing. Gone like it was never there except for her racing heart and sweat-soaked sheets. Glenda experienced identical visitations. Same cloaked figure, same paralysis, same terror. 2 women who never met describing the same entity appearing in their bedrooms. Not sleep paralysis, not trauma-induced hallucination. Something real visiting them both. Andrew finally breaks years of silence. Admits he remembers everything. The craft, the figures, the missing time, and more. He's had UFO encounters before, multiple times throughout his life. Things he never told Kelly, never told anyone. That night wasn't his first contact, just his most traumatic. Kelly's mind reels. Her husband has been living with this secret, these experiences. Is he a repeat target? Are some people marked for ongoing contact, tagged like cattle? The psychological damage spreads across all 6 witnesses. Through the researchers, Kelly learns the others suffer too. Depression, anxiety, paranoia, fear of darkness, fear of isolation, fear of open fields and night drives and visible sky. Bill withdrew completely, refuses to discuss it. Glenda has nightmares weekly. Jane developed agoraphobia. Dave changed careers to avoid night shifts. Andrew buried it for years. Kelly obsesses, researches, writes, draws, tries to understand, because understanding might bring control, might make it less terrifying. But the question remains unanswered. Aliens or demons? The craft suggests technology. The examination suggests science. The precision suggests advanced knowledge. Extraterrestrial beings studying humans, taking samples, conducting experiments we can't comprehend. But the shadow forms suggest non-physical entities. The red eyes suggest malevolence. The spiritual violation suggests demonic attack. The corrupted triangle suggests mockery of faith, intentional desecration, spiritual warfare disguised as alien contact, or maybe both. Maybe these entities exist between physical and spiritual, advanced beings operating on principles we'd call supernatural. Clarke's third law, sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Perhaps what Kelly experienced was simultaneously alien and demonic, physical and spiritual, real and impossible. The researchers document evidence but can't answer the fundamental question. They prove something happened, can't prove what it was. Kelly realizes the truth. She may never know. The mark on her stomach is permanent. The question mark is equally permanent. She'll carry both until death. Were they studying her or claiming her soul? Science or spirituality? She lives in the uncertainty, but certain things she knows absolutely. The shadow people are real. Alien or demon, technological or supernatural, they exist. They appear in fields and bedrooms. They mark victims. They steal time and leave scars. And they're still out there. Kelly looks at night skies differently now. Every shadow holds potential threat. Every dark corner might contain gliding forms. Every unexplained sound might herald their return. The mark means something. She's tagged, branded, identified as theirs. Will they return? Is she claimed for future contact? Property marked for collection? She doesn't know, can't know. Lives with permanent uncertainty. 4 people bear triangular scars. 4 people marked by shadow entities with burning red eyes. 4 people living with questions that have no answers. The Dandenong Mountains remember. The field holds chemical evidence. 20 meters of contaminated soil in perfect triangular formation. Physical proof something impossible occurred. But proof of what? Alien visitation or demonic manifestation? Scientific examination or spiritual harvest? The evidence supports both theories. The truth remains hidden, like those figures were hidden in shadow. Red eyes glowing in darkness, watching, waiting, marking. Kelly Cahill survived to tell her story. 6 witnesses corroborated. 18 months of investigation documented. Physical scars and chemical contamination prove it. But nobody can explain it. Shadow people are real. Whatever they are, wherever they come from, whatever they want with us, they exist. They take people. They leave marks. They return. Kelly touches her triangle one last time. Permanent reminder of the night darkness came alive. The night shadow people glided across a field and changed 6 lives forever. She hopes they're aliens, advanced beings beyond our understanding, but ultimately comprehensible. Science we haven't discovered yet, technology we can't imagine, but real, physical, understandable eventually, because the alternative is worse. If they're demons, if this is spiritual warfare, if the marks are claims on souls, then nowhere is safe. No technology protects you. No locked doors keep them out. They exist outside physical laws, outside human understanding, outside hope. Kelly chooses to believe they're alien, has to believe it, because the demonic alternative is too terrifying to accept. But late at night, when shadows move in her bedroom and that oppressive presence returns, when she feels watched by invisible eyes and marked by invisible hands, she wonders. She wonders if she's lying to herself, if those burning red eyes belong to something far worse than extraterrestrial scientists, if that triangle on her stomach marks her as claimed property in a war between good and evil that predates humanity itself. The shadow people know the truth, but they're not telling. They just keep gliding through darkness, keep marking the chosen, keep stealing time and memories and peace of mind. Real, documented, proven, and absolutely, utterly unexplained. August 8th, 1993. 6 witnesses, 4 marked bodies, 1 contaminated field, and a question that will haunt Kelly Cahill for the rest of her life. What were those things in the darkness? She may never know, but she'll never forget. The mark won't let her. The memories won't let her. The shadow people won't let her. They found her once. They marked her. And somewhere in the darkness, they're still out there, still gliding, still watching, still waiting. For what, Kelly doesn't know. But the triangle on her stomach suggests they're not finished with her yet. The encounter changed everything, made the impossible real, made shadow people into documented fact, made Kelly Cahill a witness to something that shouldn't exist. Alien or demon, science or spirituality, real or impossible. The answer hides in shadow, red eyes glowing, waiting, watching. And Kelly Cahill will spend the rest of her life looking over her shoulder, wondering when they'll return, wondering what they want, wondering if the mark means she's theirs forever. Shadow people are real, and they know where she lives.